hood, falling out the hood, falling getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
Well guys, I know it's been a while, but welcome back to our video nonetheless here on Pig City Hockey. First video that's not going to be all negative about the fact that the Jets are mediocre as hell and things are really heading into nowhere because we don't know what to expect. And at that same time, we have only one thing that we can hold on to. We talked about it in my first episode on my new series talking about the future with Dominic DiVincenzi. Now we're going to be talking about Big Bad Brad Lambert. Because he's number one on my prospect ranking, and it's obvious why. I've been big on Brad Lambert since we've drafted him because I just felt that there was a potential superstar waiting to be unlocked that had fallen way too far in that first round last year. And I was right. It really seemed that way from Penticton's Young Star Tournament, going into training camp, going into preseason, watching him play with the Manitoba Moose at only 18 years old, and then going down to the Seattle Thunderbirds where he has been an unstoppable machine, a god of hockey himself, and really with no real competition in my opinion. Like, he has been the best player potentially in the WHL, and that is the league with Connor Bedard in it, going down the stretch with him getting acquired by the Seattle Thunderbirds. He's just been that good. Every game he has gotten better. Every game he has found a new way to impress me and impress everyone else in the hockey world, and I just am so excited because the Jets got this guy at 30th overall, and he could potentially make the team next year. I think there is a real threat that he could make the team next year. I really think so, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because Brad Lambert is the future. Big Bad Brad is going to be the number one forward going forward for the Winnipeg Jets. And sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because we're going to tell you just why that is coming up right now. So I hope you enjoy this video. Leave your thoughts right now in the comment section below on where you think Brad Lambert is going to be next year, if he'll be with the Jets, if he'll be with the Moose. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, because I think this man is a potential NHL superstar, and I am very excited for the future with Brad Lambert. I think what it all comes down to is the fact that the Jets got Brad Lambert at 30th overall in the 2022 draft simply because of the fact that he just did not perform very well in the World Junior Tournament. Like, the fact that the COVID years happened when they did, and the limited games and whatnot for prospects really not being able to show their full potential in very limited games. You know, you go back and look through his season, see the most games he's played going back to 2019-20, it's 46. So, you know, obviously a huge jump there. And then now, even with the playoffs for Seattle, he's still not even at his highest games played in a season in a very long time. So Brad Lambert just hasn't had a chance to really show his talents, and I've got to say, we owe a big thanks to that, to the fact that the Finnish coach for the World Juniors Tournament for Team Finland, he just did not use Brad Lambert. He just benched him and did not use him, and his best performance was in 2021, where he put up 4 points in 7 games. Other than that, a goal in 5 games in 2022 and a goal in 5 games in 2023. So nothing insanely special there about Brad Lambert. And again, that's kind of what leads to his hype, and the fact that the Jets were able to get him so late in the draft is that Brad Lambert is really looking like a on-fire wildcard prospect that fell so far because teams just didn't want to take that chance on him. And I think it all starts with that performance he had even last year with Finland, and then this year's with Finland. You know, you go back and you look at him playing with Finland, and then you go and you look at where he was with the Moose, going through the preseason with the Jets camp. Obviously, after draft, going after the draft, really, his next big opportunity would come playing with the Moose and getting an opportunity with the Jets in Penticton at the Young Stars Classic tournament that the Canucks host every year, and really finally getting to show that he's a lot more than what we saw of him at the World Juniors. And this is really where things took off for Brad Lambert this year. I really think that I give a lot of his success to how well he played in the Penticton Young Stars tournament and how well he played with the Jets in preseason. After the draft, he just fit into this organization like a glove. The fans fell in love with him. He was dominating the news cycles out here during the summer and in the early games of preseason. There was hype that the fact that Lambert could even potentially make the Jets day one. Obviously he didn't. He goes down to the Moose and he played down there, but you still can't take away the fact that Brad Lambert had a really good chance to make the Jets, all based off of that one camp and some preseason. He really built off that World Junior performance where he didn't get to show really what he was about. He hadn't really had a full opportunity to really show and highlight his skills, and I think that we're finally starting to see that. Brad Lambert has just ignited. Even when you go to the Moose, in his 14 games, he wasn't spectacular. His plus-minus wasn't perfect, obviously him being a -9 and having those 8 penalty minutes, but I think that I really credit to a lot of Brad Lambert's success is the fact that he's just been thrown into this cycle of tougher opponents. You know, he started off with the World Junior Tournament. He goes in to play the top prospects in the Jets and within the other organizations that were in the Young Stars Classic, the Canucks, the Oilers, and the Calgary Flames. I'm missing a team. Excuse me, I don't think I am, though. So he was really playing tough opponents, and you go from that high level of prospects playing real minutes, you know, being one of the legit #1 guys in that Young Stars team, coming over to preseason and getting an opportunity as well, earning his way through training camp, beating out guys like Kevin Stenlund, who ended up, you know, seeing a lot of time with the Jets at the end of the year and through time with injuries, but Lambert beat him out at the start of the year. Like, Lambert had earned a spot more than Stenlund. Lambert had beat out David Gustafsson. Lambert had beaten out Jansen Harkins. Lambert had beaten out a lot of guys to earn that spot during preseason, and that's, like, again, he just building, playing tough opponents and beating these guys. Like, Lambert was amazing in preseason. Like, that game he had in Montreal where he scored that goal was fantastic. He was everywhere on the scoreboard. He was awesome. That goal was just electric, and it really, I think, got him going. I think that is what really ignited Brad Lambert. And again, you're just continuously throwing him against tougher opponents. This guy went from playing against youth people in the World Juniors opponent, then against there, going into the Young Stars Classic, again, playing the same type of level, but a more increased role, showing what he can do against top prospects in the NHL systems, going over to camp, beating out NHL players, beating out AHL veterans for spots and opportunities, playing very well in preseason, and almost earning an opportunity with the Jets to start the year. But he doesn't obviously go down there. He plays with the Moose, like I already said. And again, even with his time on the Manitoba Moose, the 14 games he had, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. There were really, really good moments there. And again, he had the fan base ignited. It had been a while since the Jets have really had this much excitement about a forward prospect. I'm not going to lie. This guy has really taken everyone by storm. Christian Vesalainen never had this type of attention. He always just seemed like he was quiet and awkward around the media. You never got that type because of the English barrier there, but Lambert has just really fit in well to do with everything when it came to Winnipeg and the Manitoba Moose. And he got those 14 games in, still being only 18 years old. And then, obviously, he gets sent down to the WHL and then eventually traded to the Seattle Thunderbirds. And that's when the magic happens. Seattle is where things finally explode for Brad Lambert. You've seen the inclinations of him growing, the advancements in his game, more confidence in his scoring ability, the way he possessed the puck, the way he controlled play, the way he was also just able to play with top-line guys in preseason, playing on the top line with the Moose to start his first couple games down there, and being in the top 6, being a core contributor for his first couple games, then following through the lineup, playing with depth guys, adapting his role. Going to Seattle, he used all of those skills that he had learned in such a short time and has just absolutely ignited down there. Brad Lambert has been on fire with the Seattle Thunderbirds, and they are almost unstoppable. Like, right now, it couldn't be a better match going into the weekend with the Winnipeg Ice versus the Seattle Thunderbirds, because it's honestly poetic as hell. Brad Lambert's real, his emergence into the real hockey world again as being an elite prospect and not a guy that was taken almost last in the first round has, exploded in the last couple of months. And all of that comes back to that training camp in Penticton almost a year ago. And in that year, we have seen Brad Lambert go from a guy that people didn't know if he had it, if he wasn't going to make it, blah, blah, blah. He might be a guy that we see way down the line. He's going to take a while to grow his game, to being potentially a guy that can make the Jets next year. And that is not a joke. I think that Brad Lambert is going to surprise a lot of his fan base with how already NHL ready he could be. Like, I know the WHL is a lower league, but again, I think that how much he's grown in every opportunity he's been given, he has shined in, he's only gotten better, so I can only imagine what he could potentially bring to next year's training camp, going into the Young Stars Classic tournament again, because he's still within age to play in that, going through that, the training camp. I think we could really see Brad Lambert explode, and that's what makes me so damn excited about him, and what should make all of you guys start paying a lot more attention, because Brad Lambert is about to explode, and the Winnipeg Ice could seriously be in trouble. It's already been a hell of a matchup so far at Canada Life Center for the first 2 games of the WHL final. Winnipeg Ice taking the first game, and honestly, I thought Seattle played really well. It was a really close fought game, and then in the second game, it was just all Brad Lambert, as you guys can see in these highlights. The man was unstoppable, just incredible. Like, again, putting up these performances, playing at home, doing this, it's just insane. Like, the man is just unstoppable. His game is only getting better. He's becoming more and more clutch. He steps up in a must-win game, too, and he wins it for his team, getting those 2 goals. Absolutely incredible. Brad Lambert is a machine. Big Bad Brad is unstoppable. It's funny because, ironically, the last time I talked about the Winnipeg Jets, it was talking about Kevin Cheveldayoff, Mark Shipman, and this horrid direction that we are seemingly heading in towards for next season, with no real change, and just this idea that the season was successful. And when that is the mindset of a professional hockey organization, when you look at where everything ended for the Jets after last year and the entirety of that season and postseason, that's not successful. So it's hard for me to really sit here and give praise to that same GM that somehow was able to draft this man at 30th overall and draft so many other good players. Like, we have such an interesting prospect core, and even though Kevin Cheveldayoff has still become public enemy number 1 in Winnipeg, we owe him a lot of these picks. And I'm, again, not defending Chevy here, just saying how things are ironic when you look at, 2 sides of a coin. On one side, this man is terrible for this organization, and the other time, even if he leaves, he potentially brought in the next wave of the future of Winnipeg Jets players down in the last couple of drafts, because they have been very, very good, and we still haven't seen fully yet what they can bring, and I think we're really getting to that point really closely with Ville Heinola, guys like Dominic DiVincenzi coming up very soon, Brad Lambert, Chaz Lucius, who's again we'll be talking about very soon. So many other interesting prospects, again, that are just sitting right now in this organization, really waiting for an opportunity to finally blow up with this team and finally get a real shot, potentially making it, and having that shot that guys like Mark Scheifele, Andrew Kopp, Jacob Trouba, Josh Morrissey, Brendan Tanev, Adam Lowry, oh god, there's so many players that I can't even name all. Mason Appleton, like everyone that's come through, Kyle Connor, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Patrick Laine, everybody this team has been built through drafting, and I'm just so excited to see what Brad Lambert is going to bring. I think he is the real deal, and I hope you guys agree with me after watching this and learning a bit more and just seeing some of those highlights too. The man is insane. Guy is definitely on a hot streak down there, and this series right now, I'm not watching it really live because I'm obviously not going to Winnipeg right now to watch WHL hockey, and I haven't been able to go to Seattle to watch Brad Lambert play because I didn't have my passport yet until recently. But for all you guys in Winnipeg right now, I hope you can get out there, catch a ice game, or did catch an ice game. If the series goes down the line and they do go back to Winnipeg, watch more games there. And what am I saying? This game will be back. That series will be back in Winnipeg. You got to watch more games if you haven't already. Brad Lambert is the real deal, and just being able to watch him, he's insane. So if he's on the Moose next year, you're in a treat. If he's on the Jets next year, we are in for a treat. And even if he stays with the Thunderbirds for one more year, he is playing some hell of a good hockey down there. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below on Brad Lambert. If it's your first time checking out a video here on Pig City Hockey, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already. Check out all the affiliated links down in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. And I will see you guys in the next one very, very soon. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.
It'll all be over. It'll all be over.